challenge from the gods, the brave builders worked hard to restore the true meaning of the rainbow. They set out on restoring a different colour of the rainbow every single week. Though this task seemed simple at first, the brave builders soon found out that this was not the case. Nature has taken a lot of damage due to the fading of the rainbow. It seemed that the very nature which they sought to protect was also preventing them from completing their mission. Luckily, the builders had the power of the gods on their side and were able to successfully restore the rainbow. The gods congratulated the brave builders and vowed to never fade the rainbow again. With the rainbow now restored and the nature back to its full glory, the builders decided to celebrate their success by combining all of its wonderful colours together. Hi guys, I'm Rebecca from Beccascreations guys, and welcome back to the final video of the Sims 4 Build Battle Rainbow Challenge. If you guys don't know what this is, you've just like popped along, you know, the build looks really cool, the thumbnail and stuff, thank you. Basically this was a challenge guys where I had to build a different colour house every single week. It was definitely a lot of fun, definitely a lot of weeks, but overall I really enjoyed it. I can clearly say I wasn't the top-notch builder, like, yeah. But I really liked what I produced, to be honest, and I was really happy with all the outcomes, and it was nice to experiment with lots of different types of builds and just have lots of fun basically with this really awesome, amazing community of amazing simmers. They are all so kind, and I honestly am so glad I managed to meet all these guys in this challenge. It's been a real crazy ride and I've loved every single moment of it. All the links to all the people that have taken part in this challenge will be in the description box below, so you guys can go to their Twitters, their YouTubes, and check out all their content. All of them are very incredibly talented, so be sure to check them all out. This challenge was of course created by the amazing Community Sims, and I want to thank her for creating this sort of challenge. It's been such a fun event, and it's just really been nice to have like some new thriving experimental content on my channel, and I think it's just been the perfect thing I need just to experiment my building skills a bit. And the thing is, all the things I've learned from this challenge is going to help me progress further in my building, which is really helpful because I've just needed this. It's just nice to be practicing with so many different styles. It means in the future, if I'm like, oh, I kind of want to build a Victorian house, I can be like, well, I can do it similarly to how I did that one in the Rainbow Challenge, because like I've learned these skills over time. I can make even better builds in the future, and I think it's like a really cool like learning process, so I do really appreciate it. Anyways though guys, let me explain what the build is. So for the final task of the Rainbow Challenge, you guys can obviously check out all the rest as well on my channel. Should I make a playlist for it? Probably will do, so you guys can just check for all of them, but I'll see, I may or may not. But anyways, there are 8 episodes in total. This is the last episode. If you guys are new, there are like tons. I've done beach houses, Victorian houses, a lot of houses. But anyway, so this build in particular, the finale was actually a shell challenge, which is really cool. And basically, Community Sims made a shell for us, and then we had to fill it in. That's it basically. But it's a really good shell. It's on the gallery, guys, if you guys want to have a go yourself underneath Community Sims like gallery page. And honestly, I love this shell so much. It's just so cute. There's just so many little cute builds, and essentially each house is like for a different colour. This build took me so long to do because even though I didn't have to build all the exterior or design it or anything, just because the pure size of the build was so incredibly difficult to use, because I literally couldn't fit in half the detail I wanted to because it's just so small. So instead I just went for really making like the colours of the wallpaper stand out and stuff. I'm not sure if this build is functional. I put it in the gallery anyway, but I'm not sure if it's functional because it just is so tight. But I do think the houses on the outside look really cute, but on the inside it's a bit of a pickled mess, to be honest. But I do think they all turned out very good. My favourite houses, I think, are probably the green one. I love the magical aesthetic vibe I went for in that house. It came off so incredibly well, and I kind of love it. So green is probably my favourite. I also really like purple, and I also really like... What was the other one I really liked? Oh, orange. That was the other one. I like them 3 the most for some reason. I'm not sure why. No wait, I remember why I liked the orange one. It's because I made it look like a gingerbread house. And I just kind of love the look of it. It gives me like a real Hansel and Gretel vibe, and I really wanted to make like a big fireplace and just like recreate the witch's house in this build. I was just like, you know what, should I just like go for it? But yeah, so one thing I did try and go for, because I couldn't clutter up these places up too much, because or else they would be very unfunctional. Because I couldn't add tons of clutter, instead I went for like a specific theme for each house, kind of like the challenge itself, because each challenge you have a different genre. So I was like, why don't I do like mini versions of my like original sort of houses in a way, and kind of theme them to similar themes. Obviously not all of them are the same themes, like I've got a magic one for green, and the green one before, and the challenge was a Victorian one, so they're kind of very different, but I also want to go for like different genres for each house, because I think that's the only way I can kind of make this sort of challenge kind of original to me, because like I said, this show is going to be on everyone's channels. They're just all making it look different, I suppose. But you know what though, even though I couldn't find a great way to like decorate this place, because like I said, I struggled decorating the inside. I also struggled decorating the outside, because as you guys will see at the end, it's like this huge open area. I know lots of people in this challenge are really going to go for it and fill the area up, and honestly, you guys go for it. But I have not, like, I spent so long at the end. It's not even in the video because it just took me so long and it's like irrelevant in the end, but I was trying to fill up like the open area at the front before all the houses on like the hill sort of area at the back, but I couldn't think of anything. I was like getting some paths laid out, I was like playing around with some fountains, some water, just trying to make like a sort of like forest sort of atmosphere, I guess, but I just couldn't get anything I liked. So in the end I just went, you know what, screw it. I made the back of the hill look super cool, so that'll do for me. I guess I just kind of focus on the aesthetic for the houses. And honestly as well, at this point, I just built like 7 houses in a row. I was just not really up for the whole decorating all the outside bit afterwards either. That wasn't really my vibe at the time either. So I was just like, you know what, let's just upload it. I cannot think of a way to make this area look good on the outside, so I'm just gonna say it's just like an open plan field or something. But I really do like the back of the hill. That took me a similar amount of time as well to like the rest of the houses. There's like a place to build down, and obviously I had to place a slightly bigger lot, so I wanted to add a couple more houses to it, so we have like a house for each colour, not only like a few. But that also meant as well we had lots of empty space. I mean, I could have gone for a 40 by 30 lot instead of a 40 by 40 one, but there wasn't any good 40 by 30 lots in the area, which I really liked. So I really wanted to do this build in Bridlington Bay, but there wasn't any 40 by 30s that are in good locations, and I really like this spot. So I was like, I'm just gonna have to leave a really big empty area and just like hope nobody picks up that. But I will make the back of the house look really cool. I do like the aesthetic though, because it kind of looks like the houses are on like this cute hill. So I do like that. I think the back that I've shaped kind of really helps a lot. But the front is definitely probably a letdown. But I don't know what to do with it. But anyways, I should tell you something I did put a lot of effort into as well. So like I said, I put a lot of effort into the hill. And also another thing as well, I added a 7th house. You guys might be like, what? A 7th house? What? The rainbows of 7 colours anyway. It's like, yeah, I know, but you see, in this challenge, the reason why we never had an indigo themed week is because, well, I don't know specifics, I haven't actually asked, but from what I can gather from just my general Sims 4 experience, there isn't really any indigo colours. There isn't enough. It doesn't, like, I don't think there's like a colour that's specifically indigo in the whole game. The game kind of goes from purple to blue to purple to blue. It's not really like an in-between, which is like what indigo kind of is, which is the whole reason why if we got told to build a whole house full of indigo stuff, we wouldn't get very far because there isn't much indigo swatches in The Sims, and like I don't think there's any. But you know what, as it's only a small house, I was like, you know what, I will try it. I want to go for the hardest challenge ever. I want to try and use a colour that isn't even in the game. Why am I like this? So I made a whole house just like based on a whole myth of a colour which isn't in the game, even though it's a real colour in the actual rainbow. Because you know, one of the reasons why I went for it is because I kind of had space for 2 houses and I don't want to put like 1 house there, so I was like, you know what, let's just go for it, let's make 7. But yeah, so the one thing I did distinct to the indigo one from like the blue or the purple one is well, the purple one I went for super light purple, and the blue one went for super light blue. So just by default, the indigo one looks like indigo because it doesn't look like the other two, if you get what I mean. But for indigo, it kind of didn't really work because it's just kind of really dark blue and then really dark purple. Isn't really like an actual indigo colour, but I guess that's what indigo is though, is kind of just dark blue mixed with dark purple. It's a really odd colour now I think about it, but I just thought of the fruit plum. I just thought of plums. Not in the plum bob, but there's like this fruit called a plum, and it's like it's got this super like indigo-y purple colour to it. I've always thought of it as indigo anyways. So I used that as a basis. So I'm like, if this was like a colour of a plum, then I must be quite close to indigo. So I just went for that sort of vibe. But yeah, that was definitely the most challenging part of the challenge. That one, and also the whole terrain bit. Because I'm not good at terrain building anyway, so I just don't know. I'm just going to leave it kind of empty, but I'm going to put all the effort on the inside, which unfortunately I couldn't really do that much of either because, yeah. Oh, I also as well, guys, in every house, I try to make the layout of the house different for every single build. I'm not sure why, but like I said, I keep on wanting to give myself mini challenges in this last build. I think it's because I couldn't build my own shell. I had to kind of think of lots of ways of making the shell got given like really interesting and different to everyone else's take on the shell. So yeah, every house I have counted all have a different layout. Some layouts work not as great as others. I quite like the yellows layout because I really do like I like the kitchen and living area. I think that came off so well. But the bathroom was definitely a downgrade, so yes, but I had to do it. I wanted to get a cool sofa in because some houses had like such a terrible layout, I couldn't even fit a sofa in. Like, this is how small of a house we're talking about here, guys. We're talking about a house you can't even fit a sofa in. It's like, yeah, they're that small. Anyways, there's really not much to talk about. I've kind of spent like half the video talking, oh my gosh, but yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed today's video. There's going to be lots of screenshots coming up soon. Thank you so much for having me in this challenge, guys. You guys have all been so good. And there's actually no vote in this video, guys, so you don't need to vote, because you see, guys, usually people would have to vote to get people on to the next round. But this is the final round, so no voting, guys. You guys can just enjoy my build. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. See you all soon. Bye!